First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to wild, wonderful West Virginia.
Oh, really?
I grew up in Morgantown.
No kidding. Now, have we talked about this
No,
before?
we've never talked about this.
I didn't know that.
My dad taught at WVU.
You have hidden that well.
I have hidden.
What did he teach?
He taught petroleum engineering.
Yeah.
We were there from babies until 6th grade and cried like a baby when we had to leave.
Yeah.
It was like,
No
it was the
kidding.
most idyllic, like,
I
upbringing.
had no idea.
What are your favorite things about West Virginia?
Well, let's see. It is it's the low. I mean, they have it in the sort of mantra of wild, wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
It's everything.
it's sort of like it's sadly fewer and fewer people, which kind of is great for the aesthetics of the state and the beauty of it and the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, there's no like I don't think the population's growing, which is weird because it's such a great place to live.
It was my favorite. What are your favorite kid memories when you think about West Virginia?
Well, I mean, I grew up in Mayberry, RFD. I really did. It was 1,200 people. I think it might be less than that now, and it was the prototypical little town with barbershop. My dad's pal Chuck Rexroad was the local barber. That's where you went to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, there was the little community pool that everybody would go to, and then there was the train tracks, and the Ohio River was right there. So we had this massive. I spent my childhood fishing in that.
I was going to say, I bet.
Greatest memories with my grandpa are down there fishing. We would walk down over the railroad tracks to the river and just fish. And
You were an only child.
I was.
Yeah. I love the bond with you and your grandpa.
Yeah,
that
was important.
How would you describe your relationship with him before he passed?
Well, luckily I had him till I was 15, which now that I think about it, having teenagers myself, my parents are still, luckily, knock on wood, very healthy and been a part of their lives the whole time too. And so I didn't really process that that's only 15 years of your life, but that no one has had more of an impact on my life than he did.
No one?
No one. I mean, my parents would even admit that without his influence in my life, I am not who I am. Huh. Like he was I think he had grown up with two. He raised two daughters, my mom and her sister. So I was the first boy, and then my aunt had two girls, so I was still the only boy in the family.
Boy, yeah.
So it was like he's like, here we go.
Me and
I know
you,
what
buddy.
to do with this one.
Me and you.
Yes.
So he was the guy who put the guitar in your hand. He was the guy who showed you how to fall in love with music.
Yeah.
What do you remember as a little kid watching him play?
Well, he wasn't very good, but he was good enough. Like he was the sit in the chair like this, Archie Bunker chair with a guitar, worked for the railroad, the B&O Railroad, and would go to work in the night shift. And he would leave at 3 or 4 in the afternoon and work till midnight. That was his shift. He was a telegrapher on the B&O Railroad. So back when the way that you would communicate with trains was with a telegraph.
Wow.
And he learned that in the war,
Okay.
in World War II, and then was good at that. And then he had that trade the rest of his life. So he would leave with his lunch pail and coffee and go drive to the station, and then he would work communicating between trains, and in between he had a little time to play, and he took a guitar and sat.
So when he brought you a guitar and said, why don't you try this out?
Well, I grew up watching him do that.
Yeah.
I mean, my earliest memory might be grabbing the strings of his guitar when I was a toddler, even just while he's sitting in this, and I would grab it and mute it and just say, play with me or something. And so, yeah, I mean, he gave me an old guitar of his, wrapped it up for Christmas when I was 8.
Did you take to it immediately? Were
No.
you? No.
I didn't really like it at first. I did it for him,
Yeah.
weirdly. And he said, this will be the thing that gets you through everything in your life.
Oh my God.
He's like, whatever you want to forget, you can sit down with one of these and you can just forget anything, and you'll be lost in it, and an hour will go by. And it's true. He's right about that. But at first, it's not fun. I'm 8.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Your
It's like,
fingers.
doesn't sound like anything that you're listening to. And
Right.
So then, yeah, I went from there to, I think I quit for a summer the next year to play baseball and just, you know, and he was devastated. I could tell it. So the only reason I took it back up was because he just kept bugging me. You got to learn how to do this. And so then the next time I grabbed it, it was like, for some reason, something clicked and, you know, fell in love with it.
Isn't that so funny? The way we raise kids now, it's like you give them about 3 shots, and if they don't
Right.
like it, you're like, that's not meant to be.
Yeah.
But your grandfather just kind of kept on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there's probably, ironically, there's probably psychologists out there that would say, leave him alone and let him find his own way,
let him
right?
find his own way, yeah. The way
But
we do now.
obviously, we're not sitting here. I promise. I don't know what I'm doing if it weren't for that persistent old guy.
Wow. Did he get to see, like, what sort of success did he witness? You were only 15 when he passed.
He got to see enough. When I was 12, I was invited to play the local radio show called the Wheeling Jamboree, which was
Wow.
a really cool thing because it was the second oldest running country radio show next to the Opry. Back in the 30s, these guys like Hank Williams and Jimmy Dickens and these old pioneers would play. The Grand Ole Opry was the pinnacle. But the next stop would be Wheeling, West Virginia, WWVA 1170, which was an even stronger, like it's 50,000 watt radio station. You could get it because of where it was located. You could get it in Europe. And there's like, my grandpa could listen to the Wheeling station in like the war and stuff like.
Wow.
And then I've got stories of people that on the right night when the solar winds were doing the right thing, you could pick it up. If these guys stationed during World War II could pick it up.
Wow.
And
So
so
you were asked to
that
play
radio
that.
show
Wow.
was every Saturday night. And that was a classic thing. So I'm invited at 12 to come play it because of a Christmas song I wrote.
That's amazing.
And he saw that. And then he saw me. The next thing was when I was 13 or 14 or so, they came and invited me back to play again. But this time they said, why don't you open for the Judds? So that was the Judds. Like they were already the Judds. It wasn't like these were they were about to become the Judds. No, they were the pinnacle of everything in country music at the time, and they were coming through. And they said, "This kid's really good." I was a novelty act. I mean, I was 13 years old and playing and singing, and of course,
That's amazing.
Of course, everybody's like,
Who's this kid?
there's gold in that gimmick right there. My dad used to say, though,
What?
you're cute. You won't always be. You're cute now. Eventually, you're going to need to be good. And that was actually really
That's good advice.
good advice that I don't think many stage parents give.
Were you nervous? I mean, being 13 once you knew it was a bigger stage?
No, I don't know why. I was just excited.
Yeah.
I don't,
That's good.
And I'm rarely nervous to perform because of that. Because I kind of did it early enough that I didn't know any better. Like, why be nervous?
Right. You're doing
Did
something.
you practice? You know what you're doing? If I know what I'm doing, or even if I'm in a comfortable situation and don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun, I don't get nervous.
You don't get nervous. So your grandfather saw that and he passed shortly after that time, or?
He had cancer already when I opened for them. So he got to see that and then died, later that year. So he saw that, and I think he knew, that either that I had a chance. He didn't maybe know what would happen, but he would have told you he did, I think.
What did you lose the day he passed?
The probably best friend I ever had, that way. That was weird at 15. When I think back to it, I didn't really realize. You don't realize what's going on. Even at 15, you realize that it was horrible, but I don't know. It's like such a weird thing to look back now, and I just don't think any of us are equipped to really, in the moment, understand what just happened.
Process. Do you still get senses of him or a feeling? You do?
Always.
In what way or how?
Well, I mean, there's so many things where, like he was like, there's things he loved about music and people that really heavily influenced him, and they all became my friends later. Like weirdly, like and maybe it's that I, attracted that by being such a fan of Buck Owens and being a fan of that. He raised me listening to Buck Owens and Roy Clark and Johnny Cash, and he loved anything guitar-based country music like Chet Atkins and so the next thing you know, and George Jones and guys like, I'm best friends with Buck Owens because, but that was partially because I knew who they were and I really paid reverence, I think, to those guys.
So you're going on your way. Your North Star isn't there anymore. Did it affect you as you were going through your early career?
No, I just what mattered to me is what mattered to him.
Yeah.
So if he loved a lot of that music and had started me down that path, I sought out a way to be a part of these things like I wrote a letter to Buck Owens when I made my first album because I'm heavily guitar influenced by that style. And Buck was one of the most innovative entertainers ever in country music, and just an icon and so much fun, and I didn't know him yet, but that was my grandpa's guy. And I wrote him a letter and I said, I'm a new artist. This is my album. I'm sending it to you before it even comes out. I think you'll hear yourself all over it.
Wow.
Because I really stole everything from Buck. And I get a call back from Jerry Hufford, who's his right-hand guy and still one of my best friends to this day. He introduces himself, says, I work for Buck, and Buck has listened to your album, and he has a couple of questions for you. The main one is, who played all the guitar on that? And I said, I played all the guitars on this album. That's all me. And he said, well, Buck says bull and he'd like for you to come out here and prove it. And so I got on a plane and I flew out to Bakersfield and sat in with him and played. And
oh my God.
That's how I met him.
Wow.
And then
that's cool.
That's like, you can imagine what I'm thinking of when it's New Year's Eve of like 2000 or so, 99 or 2000, and I'm a new artist. And I call, there was an ice storm in Nashville. And we get these ice storms there that are different than the snow you guys just got up here. Like it's freezing rain. Everything's coated with that much ice on every branch and so all the power goes out for a week because all the power lines fall, tree limbs fall. You can't drive because it's that much ice on the road. We haven't figured out how to prevent it, and so it was nasty that year. And around the 28th or so, I called Jerry Hufford and I said, "What's Buck doing for New Year's?" And he said he's just playing the Palace because he had a place called the Crystal Palace in Bakersfield. I said, "Does he want a guitar player? Because I got to get out of here, go somewhere warm." And he said, "Oh, he'll lose his mind. I'm not even going to tell him if you're coming." He said, "We'll buy your ticket and everything." So they bought me a Southwest flight, and I got on a plane and flew out.
Love it.
And then I ended up spending 4 different New Years with Buck, where the ritual for me was to get on a plane and go out and be his guitar player for the weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's all meant to be. All this stuff is meant to be. I mean, it's so crazy with your grandfather kind of at the helm. It's like all these bits and pieces of your life. And you're right, you sitting here.
And you think about Buck on Hee Haw with like the red, white, and blue guitar, or you'd have the Sparkle Telecaster that Don Rich played. So when I would do that on a New Year's or any of these gigs, I would go up and I would sit and have dinner with him in his office before we'd go down and play his club, And I'm sitting there, and leaning against the couch is the red, white, and blue guitar he used on Hee Haw, and I'm sitting there, and I just pick it up. We're strumming and playing the way me and my grandpa did.
Wow.
But it's with his hero. It's so weird.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So weird.
Yeah.
What a cool life path that you're on.
There's a bunch of those moments too that I can't even go into here. Just all of those guys he liked. Roy Clark, the other half of the duo on Hee Haw.
Yeah.
Here's one of the greatest entertainers, guitar players of all time. I grew up listening. My first memory is Tiger by the Tail, Buck Owens on the turntable, musically. I remember hearing that blaring out of my grandpa's house. The other is Roy Clark stuff. And like Roy and I became pals. And the next thing you know, Roy sends me, when we had the flood and we lost a lot of gear in Nashville, all of us had our gear in storage near the river, which is smart. And we still do. If river floods, takes out half our gear. What do? Put it right back in. Buy new gear, and it's now waiting on the next one. But Roy sent me a guitar and signed it. Like, out of the blue, I open up a case, and there's this old Fender Stratocaster, and Roy's like, heard you lost your guitar.
I can't.
Here's one.
Okay. See, this is your life.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So as you're going through life, I love the story about how you met your wife. You asked her to be in one of your music videos. How did you have the moxie?
That was a pickup line.
How did you have the moxie to even do that? You saw her in a movie, and then
I've
you're like,
always had moxie. I don't know what it is.
What are you doing?
It's not smart. It's dumb. Like sometimes it bites me.
Yeah.
When I'm a little forward, but usually it's like I have no problem. That's been the thing that has served me well is, and I find that a lot of new artists maybe either don't care or they just don't think to ask. But like just like with Buck and George Jones and Mick Jagger's a really good example. I was like, I really like you guys. Would you like to do something? Like it's literally like.
That's how you ask.
That's how, I mean, it's like, you want to do something together? And Jimmy Dickens is like, yes, sir. What are we going to do? And I said, what do you like to do? He said, I like to fish. I said, let's go fishing. So the next thing you know, I'm fishing with Jimmy Dickens, one of my heroes. And Mick Jagger was the same thing. They had me come open a show or two for the Stones. And I said to Mick, I got this bar recording studio on my farm in Nashville. It's real secluded. You got to come to town and we'll write and record and hang out. Next thing you know, a month later, he's like, when do you want to do that?
You're kidding me.
So you did. Yeah.
So Mick Jagger's at your house.
Yeah, he's at the house, and one of my proudest moments ever was when Huck, my oldest, was probably 8, and we're sitting at my bar, and I made Huck a Shirley Temple, and Mick something harder, and myself something, and we're sitting around, and Huck's just sitting there with like nursing his drink like he's Norm from Cheers, and here's Mick having a beer next to my son.
I can't.
And this is my proudest moment. It's thanks to Huck's mom. It wasn't my doing, I think. But he turns and says, Mick, was Muddy nice? And Mick said, excuse me? He said, Muddy Waters, what was he like? Was he nice? And I'm like, what in the hell is happening? And Mick's like, oh yeah, he was great. He was so nice to us. He was a big major influence on the Stones. And then he like turns to me and he's like,
how does this?
And then Huck goes, that's cool. I just wondered. Gets up, walks away with his drink.
I can't.
And I turn to Mick, and Mick goes, what in the hell was that? And I was like, I don't know. I said, but what it is I think Kim had given Huck a book.
Yeah.
Or one of his teachers had given him a book on the Rolling Stones, and it all talked all about Muddy Waters. And
I love it.
That's the best moment I've ever had as a parent.
So you and your Moxie ask your girl to be in a music video. She says yes.
Right. So back to that.
And then what was it? Sparks right away.
Well, so I'd written this song called Part 2 that was written about this experience. So this is a story worth telling. It'll take a second, but it's worth it. So my first serious girlfriend in college was a girl I went to high school with, and we were dating for a year or two, and our first date was high class. Pizza Hut out by the mall.
Always.
20 minutes away we had a mall, and Pizza Hut and a movie, and the movie was Father of the Bride. So later when I moved to Nashville, still dating that girl, but I have to go. It's time to move to Nashville. I transfer to Belmont and go to school in Nashville. It's an excuse to get there. Leaving her behind in my hometown, and she does the best gives me the best gift she could have ever given me, and cheats on me with my best friend. And as a songwriter,
Yes.
thank you so much. Perfect. Honestly, couldn't have written a better script. Didn't think so at the time, but
Yeah.
so I started writing these songs, and I after I moved to Nashville, out comes Father of the Bride Part 2. And I'm still not quite over this girl, and my songwriting best friends and all my friends were songwriters and co-writers, and they were like, you just got to get over this. So just go. Where'd you go see that? I said, well, we went to the Ohio Valley Mall, and we went to see the like 7:30 show, and went to Pizza Hut, and all. And they're like, well, go what day? And I said, it was my mom's birthday. It was December 28th. And they're like, well, all right, you're going to be home for Christmas. So December 28th, you're going to Father of the Bride Part 2. Same show, same theater.
Okay.
And if she's there, it's fate. And if she's not, shut up about it. And
Okay.
and that's closure, and you need that too.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's actually a really good idea. Yeah. So I do that. I go home for Christmas. I buy a ticket to Father of the Bride Part 2 at the theater we went to by myself. By now, having thought for weeks about this, she's going to be there.
Yeah.
That's
going to way it's going to work.
And I go in, movie starts. I'm sitting in the back. I'm watching people come in. No, she doesn't come in. But the movie's good, so I stay. So I leave, go to get in the car, and I'm going to put the key in the door. And it's like, closure. I needed this too.
Yeah.
But as I'm doing that, I'm thinking, did we go to the 7:30 show or the 9-something show?
Yeah.
We couldn't have gone to the 7. We went to Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So I had to go back around.
No, you didn't.
Buy another ticket.
No, you did not.
Sat down in the back. She didn't come in again.
Yeah.
This time I left. Got in the car, drove back to Nashville, and sat down with one of these idiots that told me to do this.
Yeah.
And wrote a song called Part 2, which became the title cut of my second album.
Yeah.
And it's that concept of Hollywood always makes a sequel.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that?
Why can't we?
And it's a really cool song. And somebody requested it in Vegas last week, and I told the whole story on stage, which was really neat.
I love it.
Because I haven't told it in a while. But the real kicker is that's when I asked her. I said, I got Kim's number from a friend, and that knew her, had met her. I didn't know much about her at all, and I just said, it would be poetic justice if you were in the music video, wouldn't it? And there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
But in the end, like, we talked on the phone. I talked to her manager first, told the manager the story, and the manager's like, she'll call you.
Yeah.
So she calls me. The manager calls Kim and says, I know he says he wants you to be in a video, but you're going to date. And
So they do. Oh.
Isn't that hilarious?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
How many years have you guys been married? Quiz.
Coming up on
22.
22.
Two
Yeah,
beautiful
22.
kids. You've got a cool
Well,
life.
one's not.
So bad. So you got this.
One of them looks like me. That's the problem.
So bad. So you got this, you got your Grammys, you got your family. The thing I've always admired about you and your wife and the way you live your life is you don't tell, you show. You just do it. You do good things.
That's
you don't
nice of
you
you.
don't talk about it. You just, unless people ask you about it, you just do it. And I feel like, I have to say, I mean, I know we're sitting here before Christmas and there's so much turmoil in the world that it's even hard to
It's been
function.
something this last weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the piling on is beyond comprehension.
I know.
And everybody's seeking helpers, people who are doing good things to show that the world is actually okay despite what we're seeing. Just talk to me a little bit about your values, because I feel like this is something, what you do on a daily basis, and we'll talk, you have this place called The Store where people can come with dignity and get things that they need for free. And it's a beautiful spot in Nashville, and you do it with toys. So during this time of year, parents can scoop up just what they need for their kids. When you look at the world, Brad, I mean, you're doing your part over here, but do you ever just look at the big picture and go, like, what's going on here? Like,
oh yeah. I mean, I look at it every day and think that. And I think this goes back to the reason that we do the charity you're talking about, called The Store. The values instilled in Kim by her parents, some of her earliest memories are driving around with her mom, who was delivering Meals on Wheels. That really stuck with her. She would take her kids in the car, and meanwhile, they didn't have any money. You know, like she said she was always, her younger sister and brother both had hand-me-down baseball gloves and, you know, tennis shoes that she outgrew, and they didn't have a lot of money or anything. But meanwhile, they're giving food away to other people. And then in my case, my parents used to really make me give back, because I was doing these cool things like playing that radio show and opening for really neat people like the Judds and the and Charlie Daniels or whoever would come through town, and Charlie Pride, and got people like that. But then they would say, well, you're booked. You're doing this week. You're going over to hospice and singing for the hospice floor at the hospital. And I remember even thinking, and I knew better than to complain because it didn't feel right, but I remember thinking, oh man, I don't want to do that. And that was at Christmas. I always remember that at Christmas, like my mom saying, you gotta go do that. Like, and it was like instilled in me that, okay, so if you're getting to play music, you should be doing something good with it, just not just selfish with it, not just trying to make it in the music business, but like, and I remember singing in the hospice ward for, like, there was a woman that had a stroke, and she was there multiple times when I would come through, and all she could say was okay. Like, somehow she'd had a stroke, and so the only word she could say was okay. Even when it was no, she'd shake her head no and say okay. And then she could sing, though. So she could sing You Are My Sunshine, every word of it. So I would sing that with her. And so that's what my parents, like, they made me do that. And that's unique, I think.
Yeah.
That's a unique parenting, that they're actually, okay, here's our kid. He's doing really well locally. People want him to sing for them and all these things. You need to be going and singing for these people that really need it. And so when we got, one year, we have our own kids, and I slowly became very selfish after that, went through the selfish phase, and then got married, and Kim now brings the best out in me again. That's my, you know, she hates it when I say she's like she took up where my parents left off, but she hates that.
I'm not your mother. Yeah.
No, exactly. But one year we have these kids, and we're out in Santa Barbara, and she says, okay, these little rats need to understand that there are people in the world that are hungry. They were acting up or something, and said, we're getting in the car and we're going, and we find this charity that's called Unity Shop out there that's really remarkable. And its vision, it was the vision of a woman named Barbara, ironically. Santa Barbara, I think, named after her at that point. She's a saint, you know, and she had this vision for what it could be. And so we took the model that they have and did our own thing in Nashville with it. I said right away when I saw it, I was like, this needs to be in Nashville.
Yeah.
They will eat this up, literally. And the people of Nashville will get behind something like this. So the concept is, it's called The Store. Because what do you say when you tell your kids you're going to get groceries? Throw them in the car and you're going to the store. There is so much dignity in choice, getting to choose the food that you would feed your family versus handed something that a bag full of things that maybe aren't what you would choose. And there's dignity in the normalcy of, it's the store. And we raised the money, built the building. I partnered with my alma mater, Belmont. So here's this building that looks like a little corner grocery, says The Store on it, a logo with the apple and things. And you walk in and there's shopping carts and people checking out, and they're all wearing green aprons, and looks like a little mini Whole Foods. And people walk through, and there's a family of 4, and you know, they're pushing one of them in the cart, and there's a little play area, and there's a little horsey that you put a coin in. But they go all the way through the process, and they never feel like, they never know. The kids in the cart don't know their parents aren't paying for this.
That's beautiful.
Because they give them a card, and it's
beautiful.
You know,
when you look at the country, are you hopeful?
I think so, in the sense that, like, what's the alternative, right? That's a deep question. I feel like looking at what, like, we're doing, that's my way of, like, okay, I can help this here in town. Like, we're gonna feed these people, and we're gonna give them this thing that will help them get back on their feet. Then, I mean, it's hard to not be hopeful if you are proactively
doing something.
Yeah. When I'm not hopeful is when I am removed from that for a while. Maybe don't stop by, don't have a board meeting, don't get, and I'm months of touring, or I'm just reading the news too much or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to be a little less.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not be hopeful when you are feeling like
actively
you're helping,
doing something.
How do you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the antidote for, like, despair is just action. Do something.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, I feel like if you do something, you suddenly don't feel so helpless. Like, what can we do? It's like, do something.
Yeah.
And you feel like get your hands on something. And, there are a lot of people who are doing that, I think, who are feeling that and getting their hands in it.
Yeah.
But Snow Globe Town, you wrote this thing in the summer. It is, I was just listening to the song Snow Globe Town, and I loved it. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's such a beautiful album.
Hallmark did this great movie called Grand Ole Opry Christmas. It's one of those, but it's a really neat movie, and they had this great script about the main character, Nikki DeLoche, goes back in time and writes a song with her dad's help that she can't quite finish, and she's a songwriter, and her dad has passed away. So when she goes back to 1995, she's living back in those days, and she writes this with her dad, and so I wrote that song. That's the one they write.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
And then there's this other meta.
Yeah.
There's lots of levels of Back to the Future happening here, where the movie starts with her dad singing on the Opry, and that's a song that I also wrote, but they're using my recording of it, and I've made it sound like that's another one. So meanwhile, her dad's voice, or not her dad, but her dad's in a duo, and that voice is me. And then later I sang her song on the Opry that she wrote, that I really wrote in real life. It was a blast. But it really works. It's great.
And just lastly, Brad, so we call this podcast Making Space. So if you had a day that was all yours, not one obligation, there's not one thing on your calendar, you can wake up when your eyes say so, you can go to bed when you feel like it, there's nothing on the schedule. How do you start that day, and how do you fill it?
So what would that day be?
Yeah.
So I would probably wake up on our farm. There's a lot of Sundays like this. If I'm home on a Sunday, Kim likes to, like, make pancakes and fry bacon or something, right? If everybody's, especially if all the kids are home and everybody's like around in the morning, you start that way, and then me and my youngest would work on something like Legos. I can get lost in that. I might work on Legos as much as he does, maybe
like that.
more.
Okay.
And then, I would go down and work in the studio a little bit, probably, and have a few friends over later at the bar.
Yeah.
Watch baseball if
There
it's
you
on.
go.
And then at night, my oldest loves to go for a drive with me and make me listen to an album he thinks I need to understand and focus on.
Okay.
And it's everything from Dijon to Bon Iver and like this stuff that he's way into,
I love it.
and Kendrick Lamar and the things that he sits there and schools me.
He's like, Dad.
He's like, listen,
this.
he's like, this album works either this way or backwards, and here's why, and this is what Kendrick is saying, and it's really cool. I'm learning about music from him.
I love it.
So that'd be the way we end the day.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it'd be good.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.